record. Now I need to move this over here so I can look at you and not look to the side. Good morning. Time for coffee and resales. And I've learned to wear a hat to try to get rid of the unsightly glare off of my forehead. My name's Ryan. This is Coffee and Resales, and got some good things to go over today. Got about 10 sales from this weekend, including a couple of high dollar fun things, and some really good hits from some yard sale finds. So we will start off with the sales and kind of go from lowest to highest. I know just more or less we'll just leave the highest for last. Clear that. And go here. All right. First up is, pick this up for $1 at Goodwill. It's a John Deere, it's actually this is die cast and this is plastic part, but good clean John Deere pickup truck. I'll grab anything John Deere for $1 or less, any vehicles, because minimum they're going to be worth lotting up, or I could have gotten $3 for this out of the flea market. So I figured it was worth put up for $10. Got it. So that was first little flip. Probably made a couple bucks off of that. We're going to see how shipping works out. Next is, I have a pretty cool lot of, scroll up, 90s DC and Marvel action figures. Went for $15, a little bit less than I was hoping to get for them. Mint and package, these things tend to be a little bit more if they're really good condition. But as is, they're $1 to $2 to $3 a figure, if that, sometimes. So, handful of guys right there. That's 4. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 12 guys and one big, kind of a big thing right there. So yeah, none of these guys, it's not like these are old superpowers or anything like that. And this buddy right here, that went for $15. Shipping's going to be, the shipping may even wind up being $10 on this. But it was worth a shot. I got some other lots out there that I'm hoping to sell too. So that is, dash those guys right in here. That is that. So I love selling figures. You can tell over my shoulder, I'm an action figure. I was, grew up with action figures. 80s kids, we love this stuff. And so I'm kind of drawn to it, and sometimes I'll grab stuff maybe I shouldn't. But I got these in the big box, and some of these are some bags that had some other stuff that was worthwhile. So these are lotted up. After I've, you look these up individually, and you kind of got to learn which ones are worth grabbing. There were a few in each bag that were worth selling individually, and most of those sold individually. And then you just lot the rest up and see how it goes, or I can bring these out. This type of thing, flea market, guys who know what they are, sometimes willing to pay $1 or $2 a piece on these. The right guy will do it. So, but need to get them out. So, and they got out. Next, posted this last week, I think. Salad Master combs. They stick on it and they spin. And we use these. I use this one. I use one just like this one. Great big blocks of cheese with. And you can use various other stuff for various other purposes. $25 for this stack. I got it for about $5 from a local sale. So I'm gonna make a few dollars on this. So they'll pack nice and compact. They're heavy, that may be 2 pounds right there. So, but again, nice couple of bread and butter. This is the type of thing. Just know your good kitchen equipment. Know this. It's one of those things that if you go through your kitchen, find your favorite kitchen widget gadget thing and look it up. Um, Maybe you got the Walmart version, but the really nice version is what you need to keep a lookout for sometimes. And good kitchen, the higher quality kitchen stuff, good knives, good kitchen tools that aren't necessarily single purpose. I'm not a big fan of single purpose kitchen tools. I got like two that a good knife a good knife is worth a dozen kitchen tools, but occasionally you find something that can be worthwhile. Next, sold wise is this little guy right here. Again, I think you've seen this is rubber wheels, sort of a vintage. Is that rubber wheels? Yeah. Sort of. It's not vintage at all. It's just a vintage style, like Racing Champions NASCAR car. This went for not a lot, but enough to grab it for 50 cents. I think $6. So I probably paid. Maybe it came in a bag or a bin of stuff, and so it was worth grabbing and playing. So, so shipping on this is $4, so I'll make a little over $1 on it, net probably. So, worth keeping an eye out for. There's a I know of a thrift store nearby that has real similar cars to this, and they're bagged up in like $3 for a bag with 4 or 5 cars in it. And there's some similar stuff to this. Cars that are worth $2 out of the package. They got rubber wheels, the NASCAR, nice cars, but they're not worth a ton. But it may be worthwhile. I'm waiting on those bags to go to half price. And if those bags go to half price, then I'll grab them. Then I'll grab them and maybe wad up the cars in them and flip them and see how that goes. So that's what that plan is. All right, next up. I covered that. Got that. Not doing that. The two big sales this weekend are. I posted this maybe a couple weeks ago. A working. There it goes. Ben 10 Omnitrix. Again, Halloween's coming. Costume stuff is going to starting to move. These always will sell though. But I was kind of fortunate to be able to get these. I think I got this one. I have another one for sale. I got them for about $3 each. This went for $30. The other one I think is more of a $20 model. But this sucker went for $30 within 2 weeks. So, and even ones that are dinged up, sometimes people like getting these and they don't want to buy a new one and mess it up. And some stuff they'll get and they'll customize them. And if they can get like a one with some dinky paint they can redo, that may be worth $10 and they can customize it. So worth grabbing these, test them, see if they work, get you some cheap batteries, keep them handy, or just I think it took 2 or 3 days for me to get some batteries off of eBay for a pack of these for $3. They're like watch batteries in here for $3. Get you some cheap test batteries so you can throw in these and so they show they work and prove them, move them. So $30 right there. Now my big sale. I know I've spoken before about not being able to liking old sci-fi and old sci-fi covers, and them probably not being worth as much as they should be because people don't read, and a lot of the stories on them aren't that great. I just read one that I'll show you. I was like, this is fine, but it wasn't exceptional. But the cover's cool. So but this sucker, James Blish Black Easter, over decent condition. You may find some better ones out there, but this was one of only a couple out on eBay. $55 for this thing. $55. Puts this in the top 5% of this sort of genre. So It's not like you're going to buy a box and find, but this came, I think I got this in a big box I got from a guy who was just trying to dump some stuff. But I think James Blish is an author that is, at minimum at least, it's like Heinlein and Asimov, worth lotting up if you can get a few books, like 3 or 4 books together, worth lotting up. I got another one for sale, I think for $10. Not this title, but the James Blish. But this book, I want to say any edition, any copy is worth grabbing and flip. Is worth grabbing if you see it, because it's going to resell at some price if you can get so. James Blish, Black Easter, one of the few halfway decent sci-fi paperbacks grabbing and reselling. So that was a good find this weekend. So one couple other small sales. Meant to have these. Talking about hymnals. This is a more modern Baptist hymnal. I wonder if somebody didn't accidentally bring it home one time. What did I get for that? I think it was $20. This one went for. Nope, not 20, 12, $11 on this. I probably spent 2 on it, so I'll make it a couple bucks. It would have gone if the church wasn't on it. This would have gone 15 to 20 easy and quickly. Folks like buying, because some churches, some music ministers at some churches want to be able to get clean copies, and they gotta go to eBay to get them. They can get them a lot cheaper than they can do, because these aren't like really that cheap, brand new when you gotta get them straight from the publisher. So, $11 here, worth grabbing. Is a clean copy. I don't even know if there's anything like. Yeah, there's just like a sticker on the front and no markings. So I would say I'm gonna probably start being a little more selective and wait for something like, say, with the church on the front to go half price before I grab it. But even at $2, a clean copy is worth grabbing. At $1, I would say something like this is worth getting. So. Good thing there, and this was glad to get rid of it. This has been sitting in a bin for a while. A.W. Tozer is worth reading. This is more of a liquidation. $6.55 for 2. Everyone should read this book. If you're a Christian, this is a real good book for you. And this is a sort of a devotional using some of his writings. A.W. Tozer. This is $6.55. So. Sort of recovering my money on it, on these. So, clear out some space and get some money back on it. And sometimes that's good too, because it's been sitting there a while. All right, this week's finds. Start low to high, I guess. Sci-fi books. I think I picked up. I grabbed this one for $1, and the reason I grabbed it is because I knew I had 2 other. These are Dahl Yellow Spine science fiction books, paperbacks from. I think they were doing this up till the early 80s. Ooh, coffee. I've had general success lotting up the Yellow Spine DAWs. This is sort of a set. It's a numbered set. Different authors wrote different ones. Sometimes more like this is a Lynn Carter book. It's not worth a bunch more. But these are sort of a mass-produced. Not like I don't think it was like a book club, but titles that people are after. $2-3. I'll probably put these on in a lot for $9. For $9, take 7. I read this one. I was talking to Lynn Carter. Who I think Carter kind of wrote more. This is Journey to the Center of the Earth. This dude, he's trying to be a dime store Edgar Rice Burroughs, which is saying something. I love Edgar Rice Burroughs books. Not crazy about Lynn Carter, but he's made his contributions. So I will, lot these up, and if I can find it, I may have a couple more in a couple boxes, and I'll lot these up and see if I can get them out the door. Next, let's see. I've got another couple books worth wadding up. Is Man from Uncle. I got this paperback. I had this one. I think I picked it out of a Goodwill because it was easy on the shelf. But Man from Uncle books, again, not worth a lot by themselves. $3 a piece. So I may start these at 10 for 2. Take 6 or 7 if somebody makes the offer. I think they cost me $1 a piece. So worth snagging. And again, worth if you get the whole set. I think there's if we get a bunch of them at once, then you're getting into the $3 to $4 territories because somebody can buy the whole set, and so that's worth grabbing there. All right, next. This is sort of the cars you can get in Kroger. What's the name of this? Kid Smart or something. Kin Smart. 2009 Nissan GTR. It was 50 cents a yard sale. I can get $1 to $2 a piece on these, and I got a box full. And so the bigger cars, I think these are like $10 at Kroger. And there's some folks trying to get $10-12 for them on eBay, and it's not worth that. These are worth $1 to $2 a piece at. I'll probably put this on the table. I got this size car, $2 a piece. Or 3 for $5 or something like that. And so I'll just toss this on the table. And sometimes you get some of that for it. You get the right collector on the right thing. So next up, another sci-fi book again. I was kind of taking a chance on these. Brandy Jack. I'm not exactly even sure what this is, but it's a series book, and I like grabbing series books because sometimes the right series sells for the right price, So, again, the fun sci-fi cover. Cost me $1. I may put this up and start it at $9.99 and draw it down till about $6 and just leave it on eBay. Or maybe, if I trip up and accidentally find some more in this series for $1 or less, I'll grab those. So, again, it's like the action figures. It's hard for me to walk away from some of those books at $1 a piece. Next up, those two. Fun thing. This is a yard sale with a handful of other stuff. I think this is going to be. I think this is a 1980s baby monitor by Fisher Price. I didn't test it or anything like that. I just grabbed it. It's probably on a CB band. And so it was worth snagging for like $2. I might wipe it down and get it clean, so try to sell it for $5 on a yard sale. It was worth grabbing. These aren't the only way these are worth anything is if you can get them brand new in the box on eBay to flip on eBay. Otherwise, these are $2, $3, $5 items. So I may snag some cheap batteries and try and test them and see if they work. Sometimes they do. Otherwise, they're fun things to just worth. With $2, it was worth grabbing it to see. Next up, this was a steal. DeWalt oscillating tool didn't come with a battery. I know a guy who uses it who needs these. I'm not. I don't use DeWalt tools that much. I'm a Ryobi guy because I just do stuff around the house. I don't need to make a living doing them. So all my stuff is Ryobi, and so that's really more what I'm after. But I know enough to grab this thing works. I know enough to grab them, so I'm gonna flip it to a friend of mine, and that way he has it in his. He's a part-time contractor, and he knows when to grab. These are great tools, by the way. Oscillating tools. The blade is horizontal to the tool, and you can adjust it and cut. Get some real good angles. These are great for flooring guys because you can cut door jambs. The bases of door jambs flat and flush with the board with the flooring you're installing with no trouble at all. They zip through wood like nothing. So these are great. Love them. If you ain't got one, get one. Neat find. Rawhide mallet. This is, I guess, it's for soft. It's always like jewelry making for some reason, but this is for when you need to hit something soft. When you don't need a whole like wood and you know certain services hit certain things better than other things. So rawhide mallet. It's got a little age to it. I don't know how old it is. It looks like these go for $10 to $20 on eBay. There's no brand on it, so I'm not sure as to that. But it doesn't seem there's a whole lot of brands anyway. There's only a couple brands of these anyway. So rawhide mallet, I'll put it up for $10 to $20. If it doesn't sell by the next time I go to flea market, I'll bring it out to flea market, try to get $5. So that's the plan there. Next is we're gonna go my 2 big finds. We got anything else in there? Snag. Okay, the 2 big ones. Good ones today. Models. Not a model builder, but a model finder. Mercedes testers. Mercedes-Benz SSK. In the box, unbuilt. This is $20 to $30. I think I saw minimum. So I think I got it for $2. Got it. So unbuilt models, I will buy any unbuilt model for $2 or less. If it's, I'll buy partial built if I can kind of tell what the parts are. I'll buy almost all. I'll just about buy any of them at a yard sale for $1 or $2. I snag these real quick because minimum you get five at a flea market for an unbuilt model. But this $20, $30, and good. I got even better finding. I'm a little surprised at it. This 2010 AMT model, Dodge Challenger, $30 to $40. It's unbuilt, but all parts are here. It was open but unbuilt. It's kind of it was a Dodge guy selling them, but you see, there's some of the stuff still in the plastic. So this was well worth. Discontinued models tend to do a little bit better, and I've also found if you can find older models with large displacement engines over 400 cc's. I've sold a couple, and guys will buy them just because they want that motor piece to go in their model because they ain't making them big and they ain't making them little apparently or something like that. So some of those are going. So that's I think that's everything I'm going to go over today. I got a couple of headaches I got to deal with and shipping, but that's okay. And one other small find. I've Case Logic CD cases. Do some homework on them because there's a handful that are still selling $30 to $50. This I'm gonna probably put up between. I'm gonna probably start at $30. But also I can't find one like this, so I may start for higher. I don't see one like this precise one on eBay. But there's some of these Case Logic CD cases people still want them, and you don't find a whole bunch of them. They're not making new ones, or not as much as anymore. So they're hard. They're a challenge to find sometimes. So some of the Case Logic stuff, a little bit of a long tail on some of them, but people are still looking for them. And so this one has a spot for a Discman, and I'm guessing 10 to 20 CDs and accessories and that sort of stuff. So it's a neat bag anyway for carrying stuff. You may be able to use. It's a little small for a digital camera, but it's some padded interior. So worth grabbing if you can get it. I think it cost me $2. Again, so I knew enough to grab. I was like, okay, I'm gonna grab one for $2, see if I can move it. That is it. That's it for today. So thanks for hopping on for Coffee and Resales. Like, comment, subscribe if you care to. If I get enough people to start joining me in the live streams, or enough people watching and enough people start joining live streams, I may do some stuff where I do some live lookups. I find it doesn't work well for recording in videos because there's a lot of dead air. But if it's something I can get more engagement on, we'll start doing some live lookups, and I can help you find some stuff that you need to find. So, other than that, y'all have a good day.